Welcome everyone to another episode of Ask the Expert, where we dive into the world of real estate design and everything in between. I'm Keely from Private Luxury Collection, and today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Tom Thomas, an expert interior designer with years of experience creating beautiful and functional spaces. Tom, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for Keely, and thank you for having me here.
Let's start with a little background. Tom, can you tell us about your journey in interior design and what led you to specialise in this field?
Sure. So growing up, I was really fascinated with architecture and interiors. I was always trying to think of ideas of what I could do to change them. So studying interior design was really a bit of a natural fit for me. And I really sort of moved towards interior design because it offered me the opportunity to artistically and technically express myself in that way. And it's afforded me wonderful opportunities to work in multiple sectors, from residential to hospitality, retail, experiential design. And over the years, I've become to realize it means far more to me than just creating interiors. I've really become quite fascinated by the science of design, particularly sort of human behavior and the effect interiors have on emotional states.
Tom, the world of interior design is always evolving. So what are some of the current design trends you're seeing in Portugal right now, and how would you incorporate these trends into your projects?
So I think 2025 is going to be quite an exciting year for interior design. In terms of colors, I think we're going to have really earthy tone palettes making themselves known. Pantone Colors has just released their color mocha brown for 2025. So I think we're going to see some really playful ideas and variations on those color schemes, sort of mixed and infused with quite bold colors, maybe some soft greens, neutral blues. But I think what's exciting about colors this year is we're going to see quite a liberal application of those colors. So, for example, instead of just painting the walls, we're going to see the painting of the ceilings included, the cornices all in one singular color. So quite a full, immersive, deep, saturated experience of that color. In terms of decor, we're moving towards what we call dopamine decor, which is really vibrant, colorful pieces all mixed together, almost like kaleidoscopic colors and clusters of ornaments that really sort of pop and spark an interior to life. Really personalized, well-crafted pieces. So a move away from just buying generic pieces. I think we're really going to move back towards an arts and crafts kind of feel with stuff. In terms of planning of interiors, I think we're going to see more of an emphasis on people's physical and mental well-being. So look out for more of an uptick in sort of home spas, sort of curated workout spaces. And these footprints within design don't need to be large in their application. It could be a sort of quiet reading nook or a private room that's quite personal, somewhere where you can sort of breathe and sort of unwind. In terms of materials, I think we're going to see a lot of clay-based products, more natural, earthy, tactile products. Patterned ceramics. I think we're going to see a move away from sort of Calcutta marbles and use of more unique hued marbles. Dark timbers are here to stay, and I think we're going to see a bit of a mix of metals being brought into interiors, so stainless steel wall sheets, etc., contrasting all the timbers. In terms of furniture, that again, I think we're going to break away from all this curved linear furniture that we're seeing, a move away from boucle fabrics and back to real earlier movement. So I would say we're going to start looking at more of the early modernist period. So your Art Deco furnitures, your Bauhaus movement, and perhaps even early mid-century furniture. So expect to see takes on those pieces. And again, moving back to more luxurious fabrics. I think that's definitely on the cards. And then finally, deep personalization. So clients are beginning to want more and more individualistic interiors, more authentic interiors that really sort of embrace their lifestyle. So I think that's where we're moving in 2025.
As a real estate agent, I know that interior design plays a huge role in how a property is perceived and sold. How do you think interior design impacts the value of a home, especially in the luxury market?
I think there's a number of factors that go hand in hand with real estate. It's first of all, a well-designed interior really enhances someone's viewing pleasure. It really leaves a positive impression on them compared to other properties they might be viewing. Also, a well-designed interior really increases a wider target audience. It appeals to far more people. It's also most likely on digital search platforms that people will be more attracted to a well-designed space. It's one of the ones they would select first to go and view compared to other properties. And I think it does enhance the buying decision. It definitely influences it in the long run. If a client can visualize themselves being there, if it hasn't got too much work to be done, and they can really picture themselves moving in straight away. And there's also a lot of real estate research that shows that using an interior designer or a well-designed space can increase the property value by between 7 to 10%, depending on its original condition.
One thing I often hear from clients is the balance between personalising their homes and keeping things neutral to appeal to a wider audience. What's your advice on finding that balance?
Well, I think, as we spoke about earlier, 2025 really does open a lot of options for people. If people want to really deeply personalize their home, I think it's still going to appeal to people who want to purchase a home. If you want to retain a neutral palette, maybe experiment with paints and do put it liberally all across the ceilings, etc. I think there's various options that can be used within that sector. So I think it boils down to personal taste, but as long as it's done tastefully and it looks fantastic, I don't think you'll have an issue.
Fantastic. So for those looking to redesign their homes, what are some common mistakes that you've seen clients make in the past, and how do you think they could avoid them?
So I think primarily the best advice I can give to any new homeowner is to have patience and observation. And what I mean by patience is to live in the property for a few months. Observe how the property reacts between summer and winter. Light penetration might be different in winter. The sun is definitely lower, so it might penetrate more into the home. So for an example of that, someone will place a TV on a wall, not expecting the sun pattern to move, and then all of a sudden you can't see your TV during the day. Also, people rush to buy furniture. You want to make it a home as quickly as possible, so they make poor buying decisions in terms of buying oversized sofas or chairs that don't quite match. It's that feeling you want to make it homely. So my advice is buy the necessities that you need, and if you can, live with it for as long as possible, because your ideas will evolve within that space and your ideas possibly will change. Aside from that, call in the professionals, the designers. We do know what to look out for, and it is our role to essentially guide your tastes. It's not about us living in the home, it's about us extracting your lifestyle and interpreting that for you.
Fantastic. And finally, Tom, do you have any quick, easy design tips that homeowners could implement instantly to elevate their space without breaking the bank?
Sure. I think the first thing to look at is declutter. We're all prone to collect so many things over the years and just pile them into spaces. So a good clear out is always advised. I think, again, coming back to 2025, paints and applying liberal paints and different paint colors, it's quite a sort of cost-effective solution to change the entire look of a property. Investing in soft furnishings, great carpets, for example, can really change the look of a room, cushions, lampshades. So those are things that you can do. And plants. Plants are a fantastic way to bring nature indoors, to green the space and to soften it.
Thank you so much, Tom, for sharing your insights today. It's been fantastic to hear your expert advice, and I'm sure our viewers have learned a lot. Where can people find out more about your work, and how can they contact you for design consultations?
So we're across most social media platforms. We do have a website, which is www.sugarrush.group. We are on Instagram as well under the same handle, and on Facebook. So you'll find all of our details there, and you're welcome to call me directly or DM me, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
We'll be sure to include those links in the description below. Thank you again for being here, and to our audience, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more expert advice. See you next time.